In this episode, I want to challenge you to find the hidden bottleneck in your business. It may not be as obvious as you think, even if you're pretty good at improving processes and finding breakthroughs. Ready to uncover the secret to success that you've kept hidden for too long? Let's get into it.
Welcome to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It, a show helping small business owners build a radically engaged team that can run the business without you, so you can remove the stress from owning a business and enjoy the freedom you deserve. Now, here's your host, Rich Allen.
Today you'll learn that making improvements in your business is a fundamental skill every business owner must have, that nothing's more satisfying than finding a way to increase the output of your business operations, and that one place you're not looking is perhaps the most limiting blockage you have in your business, and it needs to be addressed. Here's my question for you this week. Have you found the real bottleneck in your business yet? Every business has one, a bottleneck that is. Rather than assume you know what a bottleneck is, let me give you a definition so we're all on the same page. A bottleneck is the neck and mouth of a bottle, or an area where things can become congested, caught, or blocked, or a situation that causes a delay. This topic was front and center to me just the other day. I was meeting with a client who had a new growing manufacturing business, and we were trying to figure out what needed to happen for them to significantly increase their production going into this next year. As we walked through the factory, our discussion was centered on finding the processes that were currently limiting our daily production. Each time we found one, we stopped, asked some probing questions, and discussed what could be done to allow more throughput or reduce the cycle time so more cycles could be done every day. As you might imagine, we found many different process steps that had limitations and could improve if something was changed. But when we had gone through the entire production process, it became clear that there was one particular area that needed to be addressed if we were going to significantly increase their daily production. This area became the bottleneck we needed to solve first. Once we found the bottleneck, we knew that if we put the majority of our effort on expanding that area, it would open us up to a whole new level of daily production. I'm sure you've done something similar in your business, perhaps even multiple times. It's not rocket science, it's simply thinking logically about how your business flows. The truth is, when you open up one bottleneck, then you've got to immediately turn your attention to the next point of restriction. It's now the new bottleneck. As the business grows and expands, the bottleneck moves from one process to another. Your job as the business owner is to be constantly challenging your team to identify the current bottleneck and take the actions necessary to expand that area so that it's no longer the bottleneck. Then do it again and again. If you're like me, it's a fun game to play. Always looking for the next opportunity to make improvements in how the business works. I've been doing this so long that I consider myself to be pretty good at it. I can walk through a manufacturing shop and see many opportunities for improvement. Then it's just asking the right questions and digging a bit to figure out which of the opportunities is the one causing the bottleneck. My bet is you're pretty good at it too. So why am I making such a big deal about this topic? Well, my question for you this week was, have you found the real bottleneck in your business yet? I was asked this question not long ago by a mentor of mine, and the answer he gave me hit me like a ton of bricks. Having spent decades working in manufacturing businesses, I thought I had this bottleneck thing down. I'm very familiar with continuous improvement programs like Kaizen, Rapid Continuous Improvement, and prided myself on helping many business owners implement Kaizen programs into their business. I happen to be very good at looking for, seeing, and recognizing those opportunities for others around me. But I'm not particularly good at looking for, seeing, and recognizing those that require a mirror, those that relate to me. How do I know that? Because I recently had someone, actually several someones, show me in an up-close and personal way. I'll admit it wasn't all that fun or exciting, but the simple exercise of getting direct and personal feedback was eye-opening. Here's what happened. Some time ago, I joined a mastermind group where I could share my ideas, thoughts, and dreams with folks who were on a similar path to mine. We all were on a journey, a quest to become better and better at what we do. I recall our first meeting held in Phoenix in early January. It was a great way to start the new year by surrounding myself with big thinkers, those who were interested in growing their impact and their results by engaging with others who would engage, encourage, and push one another. As we shared our goals for the upcoming year and our vision of our future business, the questions started flying. They were deep, soul-searching questions. Some were hard to answer. Some were a bit embarrassing. Some were even downright hurtful. But throughout all the questions came the realization that I've got much more potential ahead of me, except for one thing. I'm getting in the way. That's right. I am the bottleneck. Now, before you chuckle and think that I'm alone in this, let me share a few examples of how I'm getting in my own way. And as you hear these, I want you to ask yourself if any of these pertain to you. Here's what I learned about me. I haven't set personal goals in many areas of my life, and as a result, I'm a little out of balance. I don't manage my time well, and as a result, I achieve less than I hope to on a daily and weekly basis. I tend to make big decisions in my business and don't delegate enough to others. I often chase new ideas and shiny objects rather than staying focused on what matters most. I haven't surrounded myself with a complete team of advisors who have my best interests in mind, and I'm not dreaming or thinking big enough to ignite my internal passion. I'm playing small ball. Now, be honest with me. Do any of these resonate with you, or are you totally buttoned up on each and every one of these? My bet is a few of these may have made you squirm a bit too. Here I thought I was being limited by other things that were external to me and to my business, things that were outside of my control. But when my mastermind group challenged me on the way I was showing up every day, it became clear that I was creating some of my own limitations. Sound familiar? Something tells me we're all swimming in the same ocean. We're dealing with the same waves. We're experiencing the same undertow. It's virtually the same for all business owners. We're all a bit out of balance with our personal goals. We all struggle to manage our time well. We all tend to make big decisions in our business. We all chase new ideas and shiny objects that cause us to lose focus. We all could use to refresh our team of advisors, and we're all not thinking big enough. You may be the exception, and if you are, kudos to you. But if you're like me, perhaps it's time to ask a few very important questions. Questions like, what are the biggest issues holding you and your business back? What's keeping you from taking business from your toughest competitor? What's making you hesitate on expanding your market? And what's limiting your speed and causing you to slow down? Let me ask you specifically, are your issues related to any of those I mentioned earlier? Have you got each of these nailed down? Or is there room for you to get better on each one as well? If this next year is going to be a standout year for you and for me, we need to wrestle these big issues to the ground. We got to work on ourselves as the bottleneck before we try to fix everything else in our business. I'm committed to change some habits in this area. How about you? As we wrap up today's podcast, let me leave you with these simple thoughts. Number one, removing bottlenecks in your business is perhaps the most impactful thing you could do to impact your business success. Number two, before you dive into the details of your business, it's best to start where all bottlenecks are found, at the top of the bottle. And number three, Once you realize that you are the biggest bottleneck in your business success, you can choose to remove yourself as the limiting factor and watch your business soar. If you'd like some additional support in this area or want to tap into our free resources, simply go to my website, tourtoprofit.com. You'll find everything you need there. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to tune in next week when we're going to discuss why it all starts with vision. You won't want to miss it. Now, go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.
Thank you for listening to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends so you don't ever miss an episode. Now go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.